Hello everybody, I hope you're well and having a great time today. This video today is the last and final part of the series on cybersex addiction. In today's video, we will discuss healing for the 37-year-old man that we've talked about in the last two videos, and also forgiveness for his family of origin. So, in order for him to heal, he will firstly have to desensitize himself from the addictions and stay away from the addictions. The cause of any addiction is to actually displace and deflect the painful feelings that we feel and temporarily create a funk of sorts or a dopamine hit of sorts which keeps us walled off from the painful feeling. So in order for him to heal, the first thing he will have to do is to stay away from his addiction of cybersex, due to which he will have to maybe put up filters on his system and stay away from having too much access to the system in terms of the physical limitations that he puts on himself, and in terms of the emotional limitations that he puts on himself. He will have to, whenever he has the urge to maybe indulge in cyber sex, he will have to feel his feelings. He will have to check the origins of how he is feeling and deal with it in an appropriate manner, as against resorting to sex as a quick fix. That is the first thing that he needs to do. The second thing he needs to do is to understand why he has become the way he has become and why the cyber sex addiction is ruling him today. So, as we saw in the previous video, that his family of origin has been very largely responsible for how he feels about himself and how shameful and worthless he feels. So, basically, the shame which was passed on from his parents to him was internalized by him. But this shame was not his own. It was borrowed shame, or rather, it was passed on as an unwanted legacy from his parents, who were equally wounded. So he needs to realize two things: that he himself is good and wonderful and fantastic in himself, and he does not deserve to carry the burden of shame, and he needs to give it back to his parents. The second thing he needs to do is to understand that his parents were equally wounded emotionally when they had him, and that they did not do what they did on purpose and don't quite know that this level of damage has happened to him, which will enable him to forgive them. The third thing he needs to do once the shame goes away is to replace the shame with the feelings of worth. He will have to repeatedly tell himself that I am good enough, I am wonderful enough, and I am great the way I am, till this script becomes his story. And also, he will have to stop practicing self abandonment. So resorting to addictions is self abandonment. Whenever painful feelings arise, he will have to stay with the feelings, process the feelings, and then make sure that they pass away when he works on them, so that he is not ruled by this addiction anymore. So in a sense, the internalized shame was the cause of his cybersex addiction, and once that heals, then he will be able to tame his addiction and stay sober. Thank you so much for listening. Stay tuned for more videos in the next days.